If you're a high achieving woman who's tired of always being the one who initiates, who plans, and who leads in your relationship, this video is for you. So here's the thing that you should know. As a woman, you never need to chase love. You don't need to convince anyone, any man, to choose you. You just have to remember that your energy is the invitation. And today, I'm going to show you how to shift into your feminine magnetic power so men naturally pursue you like the queen you are without lifting a finger. So you're going to want to stick around and subscribe. So this is what's really important to know is that you can't both be in control and being pursued. Masculine energy is the energy of doing, and feminine energy is the energy of receptivity. Just think of how your body literally is as a woman. Your body was designed to receive. And so it's just natural as a woman for you to be in that receptive energy. Yes, society has conditioned a lot of women, to be stressed, to be hustling. Even how work is set up was really designed by men for men. So if you're struggling with this, it makes a lot of sense because it goes against the grain or it goes against what society may have taught you. But let's remember that a lot of structures weren't actually designed for women to help women flourish. And so this is why today's video is so important, because it's just going to really break things down. And we're going to really talk about polarity, energy, and really how you being in your feminine energy is the most magnetic thing to exist. If you're always initiating the texts, if you're trying to plan the dates, if you're trying to fix the situation or a man's problem, what you're actually doing is you're in pursuit mode, okay? And if you're pursuing him, he can't pursue you because you have taken over that role and you have created a certain standard where the man is like, oh, well, she's showing up in this way. There's no space, there's no room for me to actually show up for her. And so you want to change this immediately and you want him to come to you. And one of my favorite things to say, a powerful mantra that you can say as well, is the queen never chases, she attracts by sitting on her throne and knowing her worth. And another really masculine trait is this idea of you have to prove all the time. You have to prove your worth. You're chasing after things. Whereas the feminine energy, she's really grounded. She's really knowing her worth. She's trusting that her as she is 100% enough. So you really want to stop this chasing of men. Okay, because think about this. What happens when you run after something? It runs away. So you're automatically pushing energy or pushing a man further away from you by chasing him, right? So if you really want to be in that feminine energy, it's so important to just let men pursue you. And even just think about the animal kingdom, right? I love watching the Planet Earth videos. If you've never seen them, check them out. But it shows when it comes down to mating, the male animals are going wild, literally above and beyond. Especially it's very fun to watch with birds because the male birds have all these beautiful feathers and they do these different kind of crazy dances to get the attention of the female because they know the females choose. The females are always choosing. And so there was some type of inversion that happened in humanity where women got out of the belief that they don't have the power to choose. So first of all, that's a lie, and come back into the power, into the knowing that you actually get to choose. Okay. So let's go to our second key truth of today. And this is about how your standards set the tone. Being a queen has nothing to do with being bossy. What it has to do is being very clear, okay? So when you know what you want from a man, So if you want a man to be consistent, you want him to be present with you, you want him to be chivalrous, you want him to be considerate, you want him to be in a provider energy, then you make that clear within you, because a standard is something that you set for yourself, and it's almost a promise that you're making with yourself. So you hold that bar there and you don't settle, you don't let it drop. So if a man comes into your life and he's not hitting your standards, that is a natural filter where you just let him go. That isn't your man. You don't make it mean anything about you, making it mean, oh, I'm hard to love or I'm difficult. No, he just was not at the caliber that you're looking for, and that's not a big deal. You can also think of it like this, right? There's all these different types of hotels that you can stay at. There's like a 1-star hostel situation, more of like a 3-star Holiday Inn, or a 5-star Four Seasons, right? You're going to be able to sleep and shower in each of them, but they're going to be very different experiences. You know, staying at the Four Seasons is very different than staying at a hostel. And you want to kind of think of dating and your standards in the same way. Like, which rating are you holding for yourself? Where do you want to stay? What do you want to experience? And giving yourself permission to fully have that and not feeling any type of scarcity when it comes to love and when it comes to what you get to have. The third truth that I want to share with you is that safety is the gateway to receiving. So many of us women aren't able to receive because we don't actually feel safe. So if you grew up believing, I have to do it all myself, men are not reliable, men aren't going to show up, and then what that creates is this belief inside of you that letting a man lead feels really unsafe or not a good decision, because there's this, lack of trust and safety. So if you find yourself nodding along as I'm saying this, what that means is that is a belief for you to shift out of, because there are a lot of incredible men out there who are amazing providers and they want to give to you just because you're a goddess, you're a woman, and it feels really good for them to give to you. Think about when you give somebody a gift who you love and you get excited thinking about how is this person going to receive it, and you put time and energy and effort. It's almost more rewarding sometimes giving somebody a gift than receiving it. So I want you to start to think of you receiving from men who are genuine and authentic in the same way. It's actually such a beautiful flow of energy. It's such an amazing exchange. And so when you start to open up and you receive from men, what that is doing is telling the universe that you really are trusting love, that you are open to love, that you're open to receiving, and you're just allowing yourself to really anchor into that feminine energy. And so this is one of my favorite things to advise clients to do right away is how can you open up to receive more? So see, can you receive more compliments? Can you receive someone paying for your lunch or your dinner? Can you receive flowers or a gift? And just see if you have resistance to it, notice it, and then make the conscious decision that you're going to shift this and you're going to have a new experience. Okay, the next truth I want to share with you, truth number 4, is let energy lead the conversation. So what does this mean? It means that if you're always texting him first, what you're doing is you're leading the energy. A lot of the times I see this with clients is they text the man first because they're afraid that if they don't, they're not going to hear from him. And so what that is doing is a number of things. First of all, it's really diminishing your magnetism because you are not trusting that your feminine energy is enough that a man would want to just reach out to you to see how you are, like what's going on in your world, be curious about you. And sometimes I also see there's a bit of an energy of fear. If you have an anxious attachment, this can show up too. And also just this energy of low self-worth, of not feeling I'm worthy and deserving of a man who wants to reach out and see how I am because he's thinking of me, or he wants to plan the next date, or he wants to send something to me. And so we always want to think about what is the intention, or what is the energy that we're putting behind our action. And can you relax, and can you just accept that you are amazing and that any man would be lucky to have you? And so you don't need to be reaching out to a man from this place of scarcity, but when and if you desire to communicate, you're doing it from this anchored place. You're doing it from this feminine energy. You're doing it from a place of overflow. And here's something really important that I want you to remember, okay? Men respond to women who make them feel like men. Let's say that again. Men respond to women who make them feel like men. So that means if you have a warm energy, if you have a nurturing energy, if you have an opened energy, it's just so delicious and inviting to men. And it also creates the invitation when you're open that he can come in and he can lead you. So it's important that if you want to stop chasing and allow a man to come in and treat you like a queen, that you have this level of openness, self-confidence, self-worth, and you're not trying to control an outcome. When's he going to text me? When's he going to ask me on a date? What's he doing? Why hasn't he responded, right? All of that is taking you out of your power, taking you out of your magnetism, making you just doubt and question yourself. And so that gets to end now when you just come back to your self-worth. You affirm that you are a queen, that you are incredible, that any man would be lucky to have you. Say it as many times as you need to say until it feels true, until you believe it. If you have not been talking to yourself kindly and like a queen, now is the time. So perfect timing that you found this video. And so I want you to remember this. You don't need to be less successful, less powerful, or less of you to be treated like a queen, right? I don't want you thinking I need to dial myself down in order to get a man. That's not what I'm saying. But what I am sharing is ways for you to adjust your energy, to shift how you have been showing up if you have not been getting the results that you want with men. If you've been repelling the type of men you want, it's because there's been too much pushing, too much hustle, too much control, and you got to shift into that softer feminine energy, which is already a part of you. We're just going to amplify it so that a masculine man can come in and really show up and really treat you like a queen. So you get to reconnect with the version of you that's willing and ready and available to receive. And this is going to work wonders. You're going to absolutely see such a difference as soon as you start tapping into this version of you, as soon as you start allowing her to come through. You might even start changing the way that you dress, feeling more feminine, doing your hair and makeup in ways that make you feel like a queen, like a goddess. But that's what I wanted to share with you today. So if you really love this, make sure you subscribe. I'm here to help high-achieving women soften, receive, and be pursued with devotion. Love you. See you next time.